on Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch because we can do it these days, and we're very, very excited to do it. Didn't do a Monday morning moonshine last week. It was I think it was Easter Monday, something like that. It was like a long weekend, and we went over to my parents. It was Anzac Day here in Australia. And we were over at my parents' house. It was pouring with rain, and it wasn't a very nice day at all. So I didn't have my microphone with me. Anyway, here we are, and life is good. So the title of this episode today, Monday Morning Moonshine. If you don't know why it's called Monday Morning Moonshine, basically because we're going to the moon, and I believe every single one of you can shine, has the chance to do whatever you want in your life. And I like to come on here, take a little turn away from just talking online business and coaching like I do on my podcast. Just have a chat because we are so blessed that we can come in and just talk whenever we want to. And I'm blessed that I can do it. I'm blessed that people get the chance to listen should they choose to. So far, no one is listening, and that's life. That is what life is like. So I'm happy to just talk anyway. Double espresso. Whoop-pow! There we go. So this morning, I woke up at 5 a.m., It's at 4:58 a.m. and I like waking up at 5:15. 5:15 is like my ultimate wake up time because that means I can actually get a little bit of a workout in, or some breath work, or some steps, or just some meal prep or something in before my family wakes up. Today it was not the case. Today I was up and woken by my daughter Ollie, and you try and put them back to bed. You try and just wait for them to fall back to sleep. Wasn't happening. So I got up, gave her some milk, and I was like, it's still dark. Maybe she'll think it's nighttime. We'll put it to bed and she'll figure it out. Put her back to bed. It was not happening. She was very, very angry at me. Lots of screaming. And at that point, it's like, you're going to wake up your mum. You're going to wake up your sister. I'll just have you up. So I'm sitting on the sofa with her watching Modern Family at like 5:30 in the morning. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh, this is so annoying. This is not very productive at all. I like to be productive in the morning. I like to get out there and like do my Wim Hof breath work. If anyone's done that, it's an awesome way to just like get like really centered and feel healthy in like 10 minutes in the morning without all too much stuff. And then, I like to walk around with a kettlebell, kind of do something heavy, some heavy walking, or have a quiet cup of coffee. And I was sitting there watching TV with my daughter, and I was like, I want to be productive. And then I realized, I was like, what could be more productive? What could be more productive than actually raising a person, than hanging out with a person I love more than anything? My daughter. What could be more productive than that? So I kind of I changed my mindset when I did that. I changed my mindset when I started talking to myself as like, this is the most productive thing you could possibly do, is actually raise a freaking child, two at the same time. So me hanging out with my daughter watching TV in the morning, all the guilt of like using screens and stuff first thing in the morning, and not doing my like exercises that like I'm told I should be doing, went away. Because ultimately, what's the best thing we can do in this life is really be with our family, be with the ones we love, and just kind of do that more. So that was one thing I wanted to, touch upon, was online business owners, all of us, these days, business owners or not, workers, we're all worker bees in the hive, right? We all want to provide. We're all going back and thinking, I should be productive. We often feel guilty when we're not doing stuff. And I'm such a freaking, what's the word? I'm so guilty of that. I'm such a proponent of always thinking I need to be productive and doing stuff and feeling guilty when I'm not. And even when I'm like hanging out with my family, right? Even when we're hanging out with our families and our friends and our parents and our daughters or our sisters, brothers, whatever it is, we can often feel guilty for not being productive. But in my head, why can't we switch that mentality and make that a productive thing to do? Because this is what just society is telling us, right? We need to be busy all the time. We need to be moving forward and achieving, especially here in the Western world. It's like set goals, push forwards, and achieve them. I'm very guilty of it. And it's a funny thing, isn't it? That it makes us feel so stressed when we're not doing stuff. And you got to keep your hands busy all the time. I'm a massive fidgeter, but that's another story that we'll talk about later on. So as a guy who spent his whole last 7 years working on the internet, social media, likes, followers, Facebook lives, YouTube channels, online programs, ads, that sort of thing. I had this massive struggle for like years. But people, mostly my sister, were like, dude, you don't need to be busy all the time. Get off your phone. Like, stop filming everything. Stop freaking Instagramming and documenting everything you do. And I was like, dude, I'm working. This is how I make my money. I make my money from filming stuff on the internet, right? Like from documenting. Because I'm a health and fitness coach, which I used to be, right? Take a photo of my breakfast and put it on. Like when I'm at the beach, hey, I'm working out, guys, document it. And I was like, I'm working. If I get some followers and some likes on this, pow, I'm going to do better. More money. So I'm supporting my family by doing this, right? Wrong. I wasn't doing that. I was just lying to myself. I was completely just addicted to social media and likes and dopamine. We all love a bit of dopamine, don't we? Dopamine is the thing that makes us go back to our phone all the time. We go and get that like, that rush of dopamine. It hits our brain. We think, this is fantastic. I love getting likes on my picture. And then we go and we live off that dopamine for a little bit. And then we start to have a bad day and it wears down. And we're thinking, oh, no, I'm having a bit of a rough day today. You know what? I'll get some validation. I'll post a selfie on Facebook. Pow. Hey, got some likes from my friends. There we go. I'm validated. Dopamine goes back up again. And the cycle continues. And that's how we use social media, right? I was one of these. I wasn't just doing it for freaking, business. So there you go. Once I realized that, first thing I did was I stopped posting everything on Instagram, because the other thing I realized was no one really gives a shit what you're doing. Everyone's just liking things because they can. Like if no one saw what I was doing today, they wouldn't care. Like no one's gonna be like, oh, freaking, what's Alex doing? I wonder what Alex is doing. Like really, very, very few people care about what we're actually doing, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Everyone's got their own lives to worry about, right? And so Instagram and Facebook and stuff are very, very funny. And so I've had this kind of realization where they're an incredible, incredible tool for promotion and for business and creation. And it's great that so many people are consumers, because it allows us to do this kind of thing, talk to people on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, wherever we are. But what it does is it can often make us consumers of it and just, endless scrolling consumers. And that takes away from what's truly important, which is our life in front of us. And so I'm really on this journey when I'm outside of working hours to be more engaged with the people I'm around, the people I love, the people who love me, the people I'm blessed enough to have people love me and want to spend time with me, right? And if I'm on my freaking phone, not with them at the time, what a waste, right? And so this is a thing that I've realized, and I'm really, really doing my best to not do so much of it, right? To not be so disengaged with what's actually happening in front of me, because it's actually very, very easy to think about like what's happening in freaking, what's Logan Paul doing these days, or what's that TikTok video I posted, is that getting good likes, or how's that Johnny Depp case going? I've got a Johnny Depp window open right now. Why do I have that open? Nothing to do with my life, but it's interesting. It's entertainment. When we get entertainment instantaneously all the time, like this, you guys can log on and see me talking. I won't call it entertainment, whatever it is, it's very, very easy to disengage with the people around us. And so 2 things I've really tried to do to get myself away from this. And I would never come on here and tell you how to live your life, because we're all flawed, at least, most of all me, we're all flawed. And I would never know how to teach you how to live your life. I can just tell you what works for me and what changes my life, and hope that maybe some people out there are looking for that kind of information. It hits you. You get an idea, you try it out, and it benefits your life. It's the only reason I do this. I would never tell you what to do with your life, because I never listen when people tell me what to do with my life, right? I have a pathological rejection of authority, right? So 2 things I've done, which I've really, really enjoyed. One is to, actually the first step, I'll take you through the first step, okay? The first step of doing this is to not take your phone in the bathroom. All right. If you're watching this video, give me a like or a comment if you're someone who goes on your phone when you're sitting on the toilet, because we've all done it. We all do it. Like I think there was a freaking survey, like 75% of adults do it, and I reckon the 25% of people who said they don't do it of people who were lying. So it's probably about 99% of adults sit on the toilet on their phone. Because what else would you do these days? You can't read the back of a shampoo bottle. No one keeps magazines there like we used to, right? So that's my first step towards being more engaged with actual life and not just social media, is to actually stop taking your phone in the bathroom. Or if you take it in, leave it in your pocket, leave it in your handbag, don't take it on the toilet with you. One thing, it's gross, right? And we all know it's gross. We still do it. Second, it's giving you that little bit of absence in your mind where you actually have to be forced to think, to be not, blasted with information, and you can actually think about things. Imagine if you were just to think about things for a minute. As soon as we get to the bus stop, as soon as we're in a queue at the bank, if that's a thing, or at the shops, as soon as we're on the bus or waiting for one of our mates, waiting for food at a restaurant for some reason, get on our phone. What's happening in the world? This is a great way to fill my time. What's a better way to fill your time? Thinking about stuff, coming up with ideas. And our brains never actually get a chance to switch on and be creative and imaginative because we're consistently hit with information, to take away our attention and to do things. And whether or not that's you can have your own thoughts, but whether or not the global conspiracy from tech companies to control us and stop us from coming up with our own ideas, I would never suggest something like that. I'm just thinking that's I know some people think that we never give ourselves a chance to just think and switch off and be, present and absent from social media, right? So this is a thing that I'm thinking is really, really huge. Firstly, to stop taking your phone on the toilet, massive, right? If that was the only challenge I'd ever give you, that's what it would be. The second thing I've done is in the morning and in the evening, like an hour or 2 hours before and after bed, I have my phone on airplane mode. And I have it like in my office, so I can't use it. So the things I can use it for is knowing what time it is, or obviously I can go, Alexa, what time is it? And Alexa tells me what time it is. Or my phone tracks my steps because it's in my pocket, like tracking how many steps I'm doing. So I use it for those things. But airplane mode on, you can't access your phones, texts, emails, social media, notifications. And it's pretty huge because I can be in the room with two beautiful 1.5-year-old daughters who worship me, and all they know is coming from what I do, what my wife does. But I can disengage from them, be interested in what some other person I barely know is doing on Facebook. I've probably never met them, right? Why would I want to do that? Because it's there. It's so easy to do, right? Because it's there. So this digital fast, as my friend Wendy Corner has dubbed it, digital fast, is just absolutely been huge for me to kind of get away from this busy mentality and get more into a present mentality of just kind of being engaged with what's happening now. And as a digital business owner, it can be very, very difficult because yes, what's happening on my phone actually is my business, right? And, sometimes engagement and followers are correlated to income and how well I can support my family and grow my business and pay my staff, that sort of thing. So it's very, very interesting, but I've realized that most of the work I do outside of certain hours is not productive work. It's not actually creating much change. It's not moving the needle forwards. So if I just get rid of those hours of phone use completely, and I'm talking like outside of before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m., this phone goes away like 5 nights out of 7. And it's freaking awesome. You know how well I sleep when that happens? Anyway, I think that's a highly recommendable tip that I've got for you today. A little realization I had was just like, I'm so disengaged from reality. And that's not like a spiritual thing. It's just like, I've got people in front of me who want to talk to me and I'm checking a freaking message from someone else. Imagine that. This person can wait because they're not with me. All right. So anyway, I've stopped taking my phone to the bathroom and I've stopped using my phone, like the internet features, communication features on it, post 8 p.m., pre 8 a.m. It's been massive for me. And I'm really on this journey of trying to stop being obsessed with being busy all the time and moving forwards all the time. I believe that we can have a great balance. I believe that it's completely possible. Now that our work and our lives are completely integrated together, I still believe it's possible to achieve a disparity between the two, a disconnect between your work and your life, And for me, it comes with how you use the devices in front of you that connect the two. So that's my little Monday morning moonshine today, guys. Couple of realizations from me. If you enjoy these little episodes, thank you so much for watching. It's always nice. I know people have been intermittently popping in and out, so glad to have you here. Always honored that anyone would come and watch me at all. And we'll keep doing them. So thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I love you all to bits, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So I'll see you next week. But tomorrow, lovely podcast coming out. I had a podcast which I'm about to share with Ishani from my First Step Ever podcast. It was beautiful, super duper fun podcast. She's a very well-researched, very thoughtful, and very, very talented interviewer. I highly recommend you go and listen to that one and support her podcast. Give her a like, give her a review. And I cannot wait to see whatever happens next, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon or morning, wherever you are, and much love.